We're talking about money management. You have a bankroll. Whatever your bankroll is, whether it's $100, 1,000, 10,000, a million, we're going to bet 2% on each game. We're not going to bet teasers and we're not going to bet parlays. This is money management 101. There'll be 102, 103, 104. We'll talk about what professional bettors do, because they do bet parlays and they do bet teasers, but they bet them in an advantage way. There's what is called advantage players. And I'm going to have to explain that to you. It's a little bit complicated. There are people that know how to win because they take advantage of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the advantage players, but we're going to do it down the road. At this moment, I don't know what your situation is. Are you a player that wants to make a living betting sports? Or are you a player that has a lot of money and just wants to use your discretionary money to have fun? Buy racehorses, buy expensive cars, buy expensive houses, take expensive trips. And it doesn't matter if you lose $50,000 or $100,000 a year betting on sports. Well, me, I don't want you to lose anything. My goal, as when I go to the gym, I tell people, my goal is to walk into this gym and get healthier and walk out without hurting anything. Well, it's the same thing with sports betting. My goal is to bet the games and not end up a loser. It's no fun losing at anything. Now, you can have a lot of fun. You can go out and spend $2,000, $3,000 on an evening, enjoy the night, the shows, the concerts, whatever else you're doing. And you say, well, that was $2,000 spent well because we had fun. Sports betting can be the same thing to some people. They can bet a couple $1,000s on a game and lose. Pay the money, doesn't matter because it's discretionary money. They have plenty of money to pay their bills. They're not hurting. They're putting food on the table. They're living in a good home, driving nice cars, taking nice vacations. There's a whole nother segment of society and it's the majority of people don't have that kind of money. I know what that's like because I grew up on government food and had to start somewhere. Well, a lot of us never really make it to the point where we can throw away $2,000, $3,000 on a game. Here's my goal. I want to make you money and make sure, damn sure, that you don't lose money. So that's why I want you to establish a bankroll that's away from what you need to pay your bills. Don't ever bet on money or bet with money that would hurt your family. Get you thrown out of your house, get your car repossessed, have the people chasing you for money you bet on credit and now can't pay. I don't want you to be there. I don't want you to be there. So if you're going to do that, I really don't want you to follow me because my goal is different than that. Now, I have a saying, and this is for anybody that's really serious about this. If you can't be comfortable being uncomfortable, this is not the profession for you. Because we never really have security until you go down the road and build your bankroll and get to the point where you started with 1,000, now you have 10,000, then you have 50, then you have 100, then you have 200,000, 300,000 from your gambling, investing, quote unquote, because it's all investing bankroll. Now you feel comfortable. You have enough money in the bank. You got a good home. You got a nice car. Your family's doing well. Now you have enough of a bankroll. You don't get careless, of course. You still stay with principles that matter and are valued. But the point is, Gambling, when you're laying 11 to 10, some big players lay 105, 104, like myself, but that's because we're betting large enough. So the point here is mental toughness means that you're strong enough not to chase, not to become depressed, not to get in a situation where I'm betting $100 a game and now I'm down 500. I'm going to bet 500 on a game to try to get even. That is so dumb. Oh my God. Terrible. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Absolutely awful. First of all, you're not in the right mental state. You're chasing, and you're 90% of the time you're going to double your losses. We're doubling your wins, not your losses. So mental toughness, stick-to-itiveness, drive, ambition, intelligence. You don't bet with emotions, you bet with your head. And your head tells you, I have this much money, I'm betting 2% on each play. Now, if I have $100, I'm betting 2%, that's $2. If I have $1,000, it's $20. If I have $10,000, it's $200. Okay, as your bankroll grows, that amount that you're betting at 2% grows with it. Now, we're going to talk about exotic betting and things like that and how to multiply it, but that's down the road. But we got to start somewhere. So what I want you to understand from this is not for the wild guy out there that's just going to, hey, I love the Giants this week. I love the Giants. There's no way they can't lose this game. No, we're not doing that. We're going to become and build into becoming advantage players with intelligence, with determination, with drive and ambition and stick-to-itiveness and discipline. Money management is about discipline. And if you don't have that, you will never, ever be successful unless you go out and bet 20, you buy 20 lottery tickets and you hit $1 billion or whatever. Yeah, that can happen. But what are the odds of that? Not very good. So I want you to win. I want me to win. Now remember this, as a sports service guy for 6 decades, yeah, I sold picks. I still sell picks at the jimfeist.com site. But right now, baseball, I'm not looking to charge a lot of money. I got 30 days for $30 for baseball. I've got all the playoffs for $49. These are really low-end prices. It just covers my expenses because I got some people that do the posting and do the work and stuff like that I need done to keep things going. It's really whatever I give you, I'm betting. And I bet a lot more than most people. There's people that bet a lot more than I do. I mean, I know people are betting hundreds, thousands of dollars a game. I don't bet that much. Usually I top out at about 15 grand. So the whole idea here is this is kind of like a TED Talk on the computer from my house on my little MacBook Pro computer here. And I like doing this because I like helping people. I want you to win. I want to win. And most importantly, I don't want you to hurt yourself. If you can stick with that, follow me. If you're going to do something crazy, I'd prefer you don't follow me. I don't always win. I don't always lose. I do win more than I lose. But the reality of the business is if you're going to have many games, the reality of the business is if you can hit 58, 59%, 60% over a lot of games, it's very profitable because if you're laying 110, let's say you hit 60%. You're laying 110, you're winning 6 bets, losing 4. 4 at 10% is 44. So you got 60 winners and 44 losers. The 44 is because you're paying 10% on the losers. You don't pay 10% on the winners. So it's a profitable venture, but you got to be able to pick winners, granted. That's part of the equation, but also part of the equation is keeping your bankroll alive, because you're going to go through cycles. You're going to go 0-6 and 0-10 and 0-8. And you're also going to go 19-3 and 21-2 and all that. So those kind of streaks are going to happen. That's where it comes in. The saying, if you can't be comfortable being uncomfortable, you can't be in this business, because there are times you're going to be uncomfortable. There's going to be Tuesdays you're going to have to go and pay the man. There's going to be Tuesdays that you go pick up the bag because he owes you. And we'll talk about some of that too, because there's issues. Bookmakers don't like to lose, and if you win too much, they cut you off. That's the same thing with the casinos. And I got some horrendous stories about what's going on here in Las Vegas about casinos cutting off winners. Casinos don't like winners. They like losers. And they want to charge you for parking, and they want to charge you X money for the room. And it's a shit show. It's not like the old days when parking was free and they just wanted people to come in and play. And it's a whole different world. It's a corporate world, but we're going to talk about that because we can get around that. And we're going to get into that. So right now, for now, that's for today. This is Friday, April 25th, 2025, 4/25/25. Great number. We're going to continue this on a haphazard basis. That's kind of who I am. And I'm going to be starting a series. It goes back to something I started in my 20s. There was a book by Napoleon Hill, and you have to be my age to probably know this guy. Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. And what he said was, anything the mind can see and believe, you can achieve. So I have a little bit of a thing going on. Dream it, believe it, and achieve it. That goes across life. Everything in life is about that. You get knocked down 8 times, you pick up 9. You got it. You're going to have those uncomfortable times. You're going to get knocked down, and you're going to have to get back up. That's the only way you ever win at anything in life. Anything. Gambling, life, marriages, jobs, anything. We're going to talk a lot about that. I've lived it. I've done it. Started out with nothing. Made it. And a lot of people have success stories. There's people that are born into it, and they really never have to earn it. I'm not one of them. I had to earn it. And I think most of you have had to earn it. There are people that are lucky, and there's no knock on that, because if you're lucky, you're lucky. But we're going to get there. So, okay, we're 15 minutes into this little talk, and we'll be back again very soon with a continuation of this. Thanks for listening.